Not only do they beat the woman, stand by and video this girl getting killed, they then lie about her cause of death to her mother. They lied about it. Now, is lying a felony? No, it is not. But doesn't it suggest to you, Gary, that they lied for a nefarious reason, and that reason being to cover up their involvement in her death?
Yes, absolutely. It very much appears that the stories being told to the family from the very get-go were not true. And it does raise the question of whether this was a pre-planned attack, whether it was organized not only by the person who committed it physically, but those around the room. And it's a sad day for the family, but it's also going to be a very, very sad day for these people because they are going to be implicated. They are going to, at a minimum, be witnesses in a potential criminal trial of the person.
You got that right, Davidson. They're not just witnesses. And what you said really hits the nail on the head, Gary Davis. And now I know why you're a high-profile lawyer specializing in international law. This was pre-planned. I mean,
Nancy, could I speak to that? Because I agree.
I mean, the woman is asleep in bed, and they come in with a video camera with Muhammad Ali over there in the corner ready to fight. They have this thing planned.
A few weeks back, the mother of Shanquella Robinson, a North Carolina woman who died during a Mexican getaway with a group of friends in late October, revealed new information about her death to legal pundit Nancy Grace as her family and supporters call for authorities to execute an arrest warrant in the case. Supporters of the slain beautician raised questions about the initial treatment of the investigation and pressured authorities to take action against her 6 travel companions, who were absent for more than 2-hour event during her justice rally, even though she trusted them enough to travel thousands of miles to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, and share a villa with them. Nancy believes that the attack on Shanquella by her friends was pre-planned and that all of them should be arrested immediately. So, what did the daring podcaster reveal that has frightened the Cabo Six? Let's find out. Weeks after Shanquella Robinson's death, her parents, Salamandra Robinson and Bernard Robinson, discovered that her travel companions lied about her death. Now, Nancy Grace believes whatever happened in Cabo wasn't an accident but a meticulously planned execution. The Cabo Six told the Robinsons that their 25-year-old daughter died of alcohol poisoning. Her best friend, Colin Cook, one of the travelers in the group, brought Shanquella's luggage and other belongings to the family's home and spent every day comforting them. The group picked out clothes for the funeral they planned to attend, but when the death certificate arrived, they disappeared, Salamandra said. The certificate shows Shanquella died of a broken spinal cord and neck. Soon after, the mother received a video of another woman lambasting Shanquella with a succession of blows in her head, neck, and other parts of her body while her others stood by and watched and recorded the attack on their cell phones. Salamandra said the footage made her sick to her stomach. She believes her daughter was beaten to death. Nancy, in her assessment, believes Shanquella's friends planned to kill her, as evidenced by the attack while she was asleep, with the rest of the crew recording the attack while others stood by and watched her getting killed. She wasn't even fighting back. They attacked, Salamandra said in a recent interview with Nancy Grace. Mexican authorities have issued an arrest warrant for femicide, murder against a woman because of her gender. The Charlotte FBI field office has also opened an investigation into Shanquella's death. The victim's family said authorities had been mum about the warrant's details and the investigation status. Officials say they must extradite the suspect listed on the warrant so that they can face prosecution in Mexico. But Shanquella's parents want everyone in the group to face charges for what they did, and so is Nancy. The family is still reeling from the shocking loss of the young entrepreneur and business student and questions why authorities are taking so long to make an arrest. This hurt to the core, said Bernard Robinson. She was my only child. She had so much going for herself. Although details of Shanquella's death are still sketchy, a police report shows that medical personnel attended to her for hours before she died. In contrast, her death certificate shows she died within minutes of her injuries. Meeting someone somewhere is trying to cover up their mess. Salamandra is still trying to piece together the details, but she confirmed some of the events leading up to her daughter's death during an interview with Nancy on November 28. The mother said the woman in the viral video pounding on Shanquella is Dejani Jackson, who many suspected from the start. Salamander also revealed that the video of the fight, which solidified her suspicions about Shanquella's cause of death, was circulating before her daughter died. Someone called me and told me before they even arrived back to Charlotte, North Carolina, that they were over there fighting her, so I didn't know how true it was, Salamander told Nancy. The grieving mother said someone eventually posted it on Facebook and a friend saw it and sent it to her. By that time, Shanquella's friends had already returned to North Carolina at least 2 days after her October 29 death. So after they got back and Shanquella had passed, the video had surfaced on Facebook and someone sent it to my family, she said. Salamander also revealed that her daughter liked to sleep in the nude and probably was sleeping right before the attack in the viral video, something that Nancy also singled out. She was a good child and had a great heart, and she did not deserve to be treated like that, the mother said. Nancy's call for the arrest of Cabo 6 adds to the voices of millions of others across the globe who have urged both the American and the Mexican governments to speed up the process. Years before she became Nancy Grace, legal commentator and host of her own show, Crime Stories with Nancy Grace on Fox Nation, she was simply Nancy Grace, a 19-year-old English literature major at Mercer University in Georgia. She spent her days studying Shakespeare and dreamed of becoming a professor. She was about to marry Keith Griffin, a 23-year-old geology student who had been earning extra money working for the Ingram Construction Company on the Georgia Craft Plywood site near Madison. And then tragedy struck. One day in August 1979, a few months before the wedding, Griffin took the company truck out to buy sodas for himself and his co-workers. As he drove out of the Craft Plywood entrance road and onto U.S. Route 278, he was shot and killed by a former co-worker, Tommy McCoy, who had recently been fired from the construction company. McCoy had no prior criminal records. The killing shattered Nancy's world. She completely lost her appetite and dropped out of school for a time. I had no idea what was going on in the world until Keith was murdered, the now veteran legal commentator said. Since then, I've been driven by the idea that if I could stop one crime, it would be worth it. And that's why she is doing everything she can to ensure Shanquella gets justice. Nancy spent almost a decade as special prosecutor for the Atlanta Fulton County District Attorney's Office in Georgia before catching the attention of Court TV founder Stephen Brill, who invited her to be a co-host with Johnny Cochran on the network and turned her into a star she is today. Adding her voice to the Shanquella case will definitely lay more pressure on the authorities involved to act, and soon, the Cabo 6 will be arrested and prosecuted. And that's it from us today. Until next time, bye!